Greetings from the Gubser house. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Grant. Who's the person in your life who helped get you to where you are today? Maybe it's the person who shared their faith with you.
Maybe they're the one who invited you to Trinity Church for the first time.
Maybe it's even the person who tipped you off to the awesome apartment that you're sitting in right now as you're watching this video.
Or it's the person who shared this video.
Yeah, there's all sorts of people in our lives that we could mention that we would say, man, this person played a huge role in my life. I mean, I think of my dad and Jason and Jeff and Ashley and all sorts of people who made these marks in my life to make me who I am today.
Yes, and so we see today in Romans chapter 16, where Paul is calling out the people who have made the Roman church what it is. They have been the ones who he calls faithful. He talks about 27 different people by name, 10 of which are women. 2 are Priscilla and Aquila. We see in verse 3 where he calls them his fellow workers in Christ Jesus, and they even risked their necks for his life. So people doing risky things for the sake of the gospel and for the sake of one another. And he's not just talking about all the cool things that people are doing. He also is naming people just for being who they are and letting them know that they're seen. In verse 5, he says, "Greet my beloved Epaenetus, who is the first convert to Christ in Asia." So he's celebrating this guy who's just the first convert in an area. But it's by name, it's on purpose, and these people made the Roman church what it was.
So here Paul he's name dropping all these people who are scattered throughout Rome, meeting in these different homes. And here the most important and amazing thing about it is that Paul has yet to visit Rome. I mean, he hasn't even been there, and yet he knows all these different people. Their reputation precedes them, and Paul's making an effort to list out these people name by name. And so it's significant to us to see that the church is so much bigger than we often think. It's so much more diverse than we often think. And it's so much more connected. Even though we haven't met people in person, we can still be connected in the family of Jesus.
Yes, because even though these people were all over Rome, many of these people on the list, they might not have known each other yet. He says in verse 5 that they are meeting in the church. Greet also the church in their house. These house churches are all over Rome, and he's connecting them to each other. He wants them to know that they're all part of the same family. And haven't we experienced that over the last several weeks? That even though this place has been church for us week after week, that we're connected to something bigger, and we're connected to people across the world.
Yeah, isn't it cool that still 2,000 years later, people are still interacting with other believers around the world that they know by name, but maybe have never even physically met. And yet Paul also does reach out and say, hey guys, meeting together physically is indeed important. I mean, we see in verse 16, he says, greet each other with a sacred kiss. All the churches of Christ send you their greetings. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, hey, get together, greet one another. And although we probably shouldn't be greeting one another with a holy kiss right now, it is this indication that it's important to greet one another and to be with one another physically.
Because we're a part of the same family. So whether you're in Stuttgart,
the Middle East, or
you've joined us only online and never set foot in a Trinity Church building before.
Maybe you're even in our neighborhood here in Virginia Beach. It doesn't matter. You're part of the family of believers.
And we look forward with anticipation to being with you again.
So today, our hope is for you to think about the people in your life that have made a significant impact. Who would be on your list of name drops that you would say, these are significant role players in my life? And drop them in the comments below, and then reach out to them today. Let them know that they've played a big role in your life, and bless them with that knowledge, greeting them with a digital holy kiss. Yeah, holy share.